guys, it's Benny. The entertainment industry has publications that are littered with articles like this: late night TV's decline and vanishing cultural mandate. Once nightly ritual for American culture, late night TV is losing its audience and relevance to cheaper, faster digital formats like our channel that actually tells the truth and has, at the very least, funny memes for every single video. And there's nothing funny about a man who clearly belongs on a therapy couch somewhere working out his terminal case of TDS. And this is why Greg Gutfeld is dominating in the ratings for late night TV. Greg Gutfeld has 2 or 3 million more viewers per night than Stephen Colbert and Jimmy Kimmel, in spite of the fact that they're at legacy networks that gets taxpayer dollars. In fact, they pulled the plug entirely on Stephen Colbert's show, and Disney's CEO, Bob Iger, is demanding everyone at his network tone down the anti-Trump rhetoric, including The View, which I guess, could you call this a comedy show? I don't know. I'm not sure. When was the last time Whoopi Goldberg was funny? Do you remember they used to say she was a comedian? No, in fact, if you tune into ABC News' late night, you're more likely to find Jimmy Kimmel breaking down in tears like he does regularly. And this comes at the disgust of some of the legends of late night. Obviously, the late, great Johnny Carson, who spoke a lot about this, Jay Leno, who's spoken a lot about this, and now Conan O'Brien. At admission here on the channel, I really like Conan O'Brien. I know that he's pulled some dumb stunts, but I think that of all of the late night hosts, he's somebody that's tried to stay as true to the craft as possible. And he was at the Oxford Union and asked about the Trump era in comedy. And he says, listen, late night comedians have just given up on being funny, and instead they're being angry. And nobody wants to be angry. And we talked about this a lot on the channel. I'll let Conan speak for himself. I think he makes a great point here about Trump, right? And about how comics who are not good at this are out of their league now with Trump as president. But then he makes he like turns the scalpel on comedians themselves, saying if you're a comedian, your job is to be funny. You've exchanged your best weapon for anger. Perfect. Here we go.
I think some comics go the route of, I'm going to just say F Trump all the time, or that's their comedy. And I think, well, now a little bit you're being co-opted because you're so angry. You've been lulled. It's like a siren leading you into the rocks. You've been lulled into just saying F Trump, F Trump, F Trump, screw this guy, and I think you've now put down your best weapon, which is being funny, and you've exchanged it for anger. And that person or any person like that would say, well, things are too serious now. I don't need to be funny. And I think, well, if you're a comedian, you always need to be funny. You just have to find a way. And you just have to find a way to channel that anger into a way that is, because good art will always be a great weapon. Will always be a perfect weapon against power. But if you're just screaming and you're just angry, you've lost your best tool in the toolbox.
We've often talked about this. We've often talked about the decline here is that people need a pressure release valve. They already feel angry. People are already pissed off. They've been sitting in traffic all day. Food is too expensive. Housing is too expensive. Inflation, whatever. Their boss pisses them off. They want to come home, and the point of late night was to give the American public something to laugh at together. And that means not that you never make fun of Republicans or that you never make fun of Democrats, but that you do actually make fun of both kind of equally, and that you don't pull punches. SNL used to do this. Late night used to do this, but now late night has just simply been the same thing that people hear all day long. Anger and raging at Trump and screeching and screeds. And they're done with it. You put down your best weapon. If you're a comedian, you need to be funny. And Jimmy Kimmel is just not funny. And the ratings prove that. Listen, there's never been worse ratings in history for late night TV. I've always liked Conan. He obviously is getting a lot of love for this. It's repetitive and angry. This is the reason I watched his show more than any others. I remember a brief time a few years back when people tried to pretend that comedy didn't actually have to be funny. They literally did this. People are noting that Conan, back when he had a show, pulled like a Haiti stunt against Trump. Here's Haiti is great already. You know, the goofballs like went to Haiti to try and, I don't know. It's like, move to Haiti, dude. But in spite of like some dumb gags, the last great late night host, I think Conan, more than any other working late night host right now, like actually understood the assignment. And what was the assignment here? Well, it's the opposite of what Jimmy Kimmel is doing right now. And Jimmy Kimmel last night, and the heels of a near killing of an ICE agent in Minneapolis, Jimmy Kimmel last night came out and started cursing out ICE, attacking ICE, and defaming the ICE agents, and giving what is a propaganda political speech. There's no other way to explain it. You see the opposite of what's going on here. Like, he's using his platform to further attack ICE, saying that Donald Trump is going to kill them. You know, what is that going to raise or lower the temperature? Here's a short clip here.
I know what they're doing. They're trying out a new slogan. Donald J. Trump is going to kill you. It's pretty good, right? This maniac, he isn't just killing people overseas. An ICE agent today shot and killed an unarmed 37-year-old woman during an ICE operation in Minneapolis. They're there under the guise of protecting us. And of course, our president weighed in with compassion. He wrote, "I've just viewed the clip of the event which took place in Minneapolis. It is a horrible thing to watch. The woman screaming was obviously a professional agitator. And the woman driving the car, this is the woman who was killed, was very disorderly, obstructing and resisting, who then violently, willfully, and viciously ran over the ICE officer who seems to have shot her in self-defense." Now, I saw this video. It didn't look like anybody got run over to me. It looked to me like a woman got scared, tried to drive away, and they shot her. That'll be for the court to decide. Well, the mayor of Minneapolis, though, had this to say.
They are already trying to spin this as an action of self-defense. Having seen the video of myself, I want to tell everybody directly, that is bull. This was an agent recklessly using power that resulted in somebody dying, getting killed. And I have a message for ICE. To ICE, get the out of Minneapolis.
Now, that was the shirt I want to see. To ICE, get the out of Minneapolis. Get the out of all of these cities.
I just want to end with the king of late night, the not Jay Leno, not David Letterman, Johnny Carson, the man who actually created the medium, and his thoughts on comedy and on the role of a late night host and what their obligations are to the American public. And I think this is critical. And as these networks sort of rebuild their funny bone, rebuild like what is comedy, I think it's very important to listen. Here we go.
It's sensitive about the fact that people say he'll never take a serious controversy. Well, I have an answer to that. I said, now, tell me the last time that Jack Benny, Red Skelton, Benny comedian, used his show to do serious issues. That's not what I'm there for. Can't they see that? But you're not. Why do they think that just because you have a Tonight Show that you must deal in serious issues? It's a danger. It's a real danger. Once you start that, you start to get that self-important feeling that what you say has great import. And you know, strangely enough, you could use that show as a forum. You could sway people, and I don't think you should as an entertainer.